Welcome to the Daughter Arise channel. My name is Yvonne and this channel is all about bringing you content about childhood sexual abuse. On this channel I share things to do with my experience of going through this childhood trauma. I also share news stories and add my commentary and thoughts to them. And from time to time I also interview other survivors and their supporters in hopes of raising awareness of this childhood trauma. So if this is the type of content you're looking for, please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified of any new uploads. And don't forget to hit the thumbs up if you like the content. So today I have a story for you from the Daily Mail newspaper. It is about a cancer-stricken paedophile who has been sentenced to die in jail for sexually abusing 7 girls. So I will leave a link to the story in the description box below for you to check out for yourself. So a paedophile pensioner who sexually abused 7 girls over a period of more than 30 years will die in jail. Keith Turner from Newcastle upon Lyme had an obsession with masturbation and would make his young victims perform sex acts on him for his own selfish sexual gratification. His abuse had a profound effect on his victims. One tried to kill herself when she was aged 15 and another suffered a nervous breakdown which led to her losing her job. Now Turner has been jailed for 9 years at Stoke-on-Trent Crown Court. Prosecutor Anthony Longworth said 7 girls were the victims of the defendant between 1970 and 2002. The pensioner performed a sex act in front of his victims and made some touch him, including in one incident while on a fairground ride. One victim, now in her 50s, reading a moving statement to the court, said, "I felt frightened. I said nothing to anyone for fear of being disbelieved. In 2007, I suffered a nervous breakdown. I was totally depressed. As a result of the breakdown, I lost the job I loved which I had for 20 years. You took advantage of the situation and my vulnerability in order to gain your own sexual gratification, and I will never forgive you for that. I will never forgive you." Turner of Kidsgrove pleaded guilty to indecent assault of a girl under 16, 4 offences of gross indecency with a girl under 14 and 9 charges of indecent assault of a girl under 14. Paul Cliff mitigating said the defendant, a former fitter for British Rail, has battled prostate cancer for 8 years and is only expected to live for another 18 months. He said Turner's guilty plea saved the victims from the ordeal of giving evidence at a trial. Mr. Cliff said he is very sorry. That is something he wishes me to communicate to the court and to the victims. The offending spanned from the age of 33 to 65. There have been no offending in the last 19 or 20 years. Judge Graham Smith said, "The only reason you have no previous convictions is because your victims have carried the burden of your abuse against them for a very long time, in some cases up to 50 years, and have not reported it due to shame, embarrassment, fear or pressure. You have damaged so many innocent lives." A number of victims have said that to some extent they blame themselves for what has happened. It was not their fault. Each of them was a young child. You were an adult. It seems you had an obsession with or an addiction to masturbation. I just hope in some way this day will be a turning point in each of their lives. Turner was made the subject of an indefinite sexual harm prevention order and was placed on the sexual offenders register for life. So, as you heard from that story, this paedophile will now die in jail. Now, I'm going to say this right off the bat. He deserves to go to prison. And yes, I know he is suffering from cancer. I know that they tried to make a case for this, but at the end of the day, he committed a crime against children and he should be punished. What a lot of people don't seem to understand is that for survivors of childhood sexual abuse, as quite rightly pointed out for the judge, the burden that they carry continues on after the offence. And obviously from the story that this young woman shared in her impact statement about how it affected her life, it just goes to show you the impact sexual abuse can have on a victim's life. Now, yes, as I said, I know he's ill, but he still needs to go to prison. And one thing that in this story that we don't really see a lot of is a paedophile taking accountability for their wrongs. He didn't try and blame the victim, say that, she teased him or, she wasn't properly dressed or whatever it is. He took full accountability. So I'll give him that much. But for him, unfortunately, he's paying the consequences of his crimes, both physically and also going to jail for what he has done. I can see from some of the comments in this story that some people are saying that, it's a pointless prosecution with 18 months to live. But at the end of the day, justice has been served. Even if he, was to die in 6 months and he got 6 months in jail, justice has to be served. I think it's important for the victims to see that they are believed. And through this sentencing and through the sexual prevention harm order and all the other licenses that have been placed on him, they can see that, the law did take them seriously. And I hope in part that this sentence goes towards these women's healing. I know they have lost a lot. I know it's impacted their life a lot, but the fact now that he's behind bars, I hope in some way they can start to rebuild their lives. So that is it for this story. Until the next one, take care.